It is time for Sports Roundup with Father Matt Frisbee. Good morning, Father Matt.
Good morning, Dave and Ron, and all of our listeners. Good to be with you this morning on this beautiful morning. Doesn't feel very much like August. Feels a little bit like October more so, but I think after some of that heat, I think a lot of people will take it. But, I'm going to bury the lead first, though.
Okay.
and start with baseball.
Wow.
The Indians, the Guardians are done.
Mm-hmm.
It's over.
Unfortunately.
3 straight games they've been shut out. That's the first time since 1991. Now, all of the AL Central lost last night, but the Tigers are going to run away with this division. As we kind of said about 2 months ago, but
yeah, you did.
About a month ago, looked like the Guards were going to really kind of make a push for that, and they've really collapsed. So
I tell you what, though, I have a solution for the Guardians if they want to, at least end the season on a winning streak. That would be nice to have. All they need is you end up with designated batters. And I would suggest whoever won the Little League World Series would be the ones that would come in and swing the bats for the rest of the season.
It kind of feels like it couldn't be any worse for them now, that's for sure. So like I said, they're done, but I buried the lead because this upcoming week, we had the quote-unquote week 0 of college football this past weekend. Kansas State and Iowa State this past weekend. I think they played in Dublin, Stanford and Hawaii. Let's be honest, we didn't pay too much attention to those games because this upcoming week is week 1 of the college football season. And we know we've talked about this for about a month or two now. It's really headlined by the big matchup down at the Horseshoe at noon this Saturday. Ohio State hosting Texas, the Longhorns, and big matchup here. And we've been talking about it, and now it's finally here.
Yeah, the whole football season is here, and boy, but you're talking about that game, Father. The battle of the quarterbacks who are getting their first times at starting, both highly regarded. But we'll find out who has game and who's just been kind of talked about without anything proven thus far, which is the case for both of them.
Yeah, that's right. Both are good teams. I think both will have really good seasons. But we're going to see. Arch Manning, of course, for Texas, has a little bit more experience than Julian Sand does for Ohio State. But Ohio State probably has the better offensive line than Texas does. I think they had to replace most, if not all, and their starting right tackle went out a couple weeks ago. Now, Texas's front 7 on defense is really good, so there's that. But then, of course, Texas's secondary has to contend with the perimeter of Ohio State's offense, the receivers led by Jeremiah Smith, but don't forget about Carnell Tate, Brandon Innes. And I think the X factor for Ohio State perhaps this year in their offense, a lot of people have talked about this, the transfer from Purdue, a tight end, Max Clare, who really, I think, he's projected to maybe be the Mackey Award winner. That's the best tight end in the country. We'll see what happens there. But he really could create havoc for defenses, and we'll see this. We'll see what happens on Saturday. Should be a great game.
Well, look, we know this saying is not going to be absent people to throw the ball to. If he can get it there, I think it should be a pretty good passing game in any regard. But quite frankly, just the fact that we're finally there, we've been waiting for this weekend for so long, and now here we go.
That's exactly right. For the Buckeyes, last year they had and I mentioned this the other week, they had a team full of leaders, experienced veterans. They had to replace all of that. So this is where we're going to see the Buckeyes, I think, especially tested when they face tough teams. Who's going to step up and really lead the team? Sonny Styles is one of those returners for the Buckeyes. He's given that Block O jersey, the 0, big honor for him. So we'll see that. Another matchup that should be mentioned, I think it may be played on Sunday, is a throwback, of course, back to the late 80s. in what had been dubbed back then Catholics versus convents. We have Notre Dame versus the University of Miami, of course, which is Florida, not Ohio.
Right. And that's Sunday? They're playing on Sunday?
You don't quote me on that, but I think it may be on Sunday.
Look at the Catholic college playing on Sunday. Somebody should tell them. Go play on Saturday.
But, Notre Dame's another team. They are very highly regarded this year. Top 10 start, or ranked top 10 to begin the year. And obviously, runners-up in the national championship game. So Marcus Freeman's really got Notre Dame headed in the right direction. And, certainly want them to do well, too. And then Michigan, they really scheduled a tough team to start the year. New Mexico, maybe even New Mexico State. I don't even remember. But,
look, it has to be said. I'm pulling for Ohio State, so I don't like Arch Manning, but I also don't like him for another reason. I can't stand his uncle. I mean, I really have a problem with him. Not Peyton or Eli. I like Uncle Ricky Fredericks on his mother's side. He and I are in a tiff, and I don't like his nephew. Simple as that.
Dave, you should let go. We're meant to forgive.
That's right. Let go, Dave. Let it go. Let it go. Yeah. So, that's Father, right. Are you going to be like Dave and I? Are you going to be one of the first in line to pre-order the Caitlin Clark Nike shoe, the shoe that she's got coming out next year?
Well, no, I wear men's shoes. So
that's good to hear.
I'm not going to wear them. I'm just going to display them.
Shoes are meant for one thing, and they're not displaying. Shoes are made for walking, running, or playing sports. So, I will not be ordering that, but certainly that is a big deal. We know Caitlin Clark, really the face of women's basketball. She's the only reason we talk about the WNBA. Just good for her and all that. And, of course, I have to mention obscure sports. But the U.S. Open tennis is going on right now. We just started, so we'll talk about it more once we get past the finals and everything. But, of course, we still have to stay on football because, the NFL season's just about to start, too, in a couple weeks. And, the Browns, as always, they're doing something. They're always doing something.
Yeah, they're doing something. They traded a quarterback.
It should be mentioned. Well, yeah. They traded Kenny Pickett to the Raiders for a fifth-round pick. I think they traded a fifth-round pick to get him.
Right.
So, there we go. But that certainly would look like they're going to keep both Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders on the roster. But Joe Flacco starts the year. I think I mentioned this last week. Maybe I didn't. Back in 2013, I think it was, Joe Flacco started week 1 against the Bengals. The Ravens won the Super Bowl. 2025, Joe Flacco starts week 1 against the Bengals. Do the Browns win a Super Bowl?
Would love a repeat.
We're going to find out. Yeah. Now, of course, last time the Browns went undefeated in the preseason, which they did this year. Last time they did that, they went 0-16. So we're going to find out what happened.
That's what I love about the being a Browns watcher. You never know what's going to happen. You just kind of have to hang in there and hope for the best, I guess.
Yeah, you have to watch because they usually invent new ways to lose.
Absolutely. Father Matt Frisbee, another excellent view of sports on Sports Roundup on this Tuesday morning. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too. God bless.
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.